Back at y'all with some more boxing news and updates. You already know this your boy Love When the Hate One. Let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. You know, Roy Jones is absolutely killing Floyd Mayweather when it comes down to this argument about, Floyd not wanting to fight or never did fight no prime black fighters. But listen here, RJ. I really want to tell you this. I've been saying this shit for years. A lot of people been saying this shit for years. But it's kind of pointless because most of Mayweather fans, okay, it's two type of Mayweather fans, okay? You got the cheerleaders. Actually, it's three, okay? Number one, you got the casuals. You can't talk boxing with no goddamn casual. They don't really know shit, and they basically just go with the hype instead of really, digging deep or doing some research on what's going on. Not only that, casuals only watch about 3 to 4 fighters when Floyd was fighting. That's Canelo, maybe Oscar, Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather. That's it. That's their whole catalog right there. So it's pointless to even have this argument with the casual, all right? And then you have a fair Mayweather fan. The fan that's, they're a Mayweather fan, but they're going to keep it real, and they know exactly what we mean when we say Floyd never fought no prime black fighter, all right? And then you have the Mayweather D-Rider, the Mayweather cheerleader, the one that think Mayweather could do no wrong, okay? The one that think Mayweather could have went all the way up to 175 and dominated, okay? What's so cold about a Mayweather D-Rider? A lot of those guys are casuals too, but a lot of those guys are actually hardcore boxing fans, and some know the sport. Some know boxing very well, but they still find a place in their little sweethearts for Mayweather, okay? They keep it real when it comes down to everybody else except Mayweather. They're biased, clearly biased for Mayweather. Clearly, okay? But I'm gonna break all that shit down in this video. I'm gonna play you guys these words from Mr. Roy Jones himself, then I'm gonna come back and talk my shit.
You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? Nobody.
All right, now let me go ahead and talk my shit and really break this shit down for the last time. Because, like I said, if you know boxing and you're not a Floyd D-Rider or some straight up casual, then you know exactly what RJ is trying to say. We all know if you're a great fighter, it is what it is. You gotta face you a slick, undefeated black fighter. It sucks, but we all know it's not a race thing, you guys, but we all know a lot of blacks have that slick, athletic style. You cannot tell me you're a great fighter if you don't have that style on your resume when they was in their prime, okay? Listen, Oscar De La Hoya, he beat Ike Quartey. He beat, Sweet Pea Whitaker. And I know Whitaker wasn't undefeated at that time, but he was arguably undefeated at that time he faced De La Hoya, because a lot of people thought the 2 or 3 losses that he had, he really won. Okay, so I could still give Oscar a lot of credit for that. Look at Julio Cesar Chavez, and you don't have to win the fight, face him. Julio Cesar Chavez fought undefeated, literally undefeated, Sweet Pea Whitaker. Okay, look at Canelo. Canelo fought Austin Trout. He was undefeated. We all know Lara was undefeated when Canelo faced him, because that first fight with Paul Williams was clearly a robbery. So Canelo was technically the first person to beat Erislandy Lara, right? So with that being said, I'm just letting you guys know all the great fighters has faced somebody that was undefeated and slick, aka prime black fighters. Look at Tommy Hearns. Look at Sugar Ray Leonard. Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard both fought each other in their prime when they was undefeated. The only great fighter that hasn't done that yet is Floyd Mayweather. Even Roy Jones done it, okay? Roy Jones fought Bernard Hopkins, when he was undefeated. Okay? Well, I think B-Hop did lose one time, but that don't count. That was when he was fresh out of jail. We don't count that shit. Okay, but Roy Jones also fought James Toney when he was undefeated, and more. And I could keep going on all day, but you guys, unless you slow or you a casual, you got my point, right? Now, all the casuals and the Floyd D writers, I know exactly how they think. So they will say, oh, but Floyd fought Zab Judah. Oh, but Floyd fought Diego Corrales. He's black. And, they will try to spin the narrative. But what they don't understand is Zab Judah, we all know the blueprint was already out there on how to beat Zab. Zab really don't like pressure. He's a bit chinny. He's clearly beatable, and he was clearly coming off a loss before he fought Floyd Mayweather. Let's add that, okay? Diego Corrales was a stationary power puncher, very predictable fighter. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on Floyd. These are good wins, but they're not prime black fighters. The blueprint was there on how to beat Zab. And when it came down to Diego Corrales, even though he may be black, like you say, or mixed with black, whatever, right? Diego Corrales is not a slick, prime black fighter, okay? All right, now the Floyd D writers and the casuals, this is another one of their go-tos. Oh, but there was nobody that was undefeated to fight Floyd that was prime and black at that time. That is a damn lie, okay? Now, I got over 15 prime undefeated fighters that Floyd could have faced, but I'm not going to even go that far. I'm just going to give you guys about 5 or 6. Now, since I know these Floyd casuals like a book, this is what they're going to say. Oh, but Floyd would have easily beat those guys. Okay, we all know Floyd would have easily beat them flat-footed fighters that he was facing, and he still fought them. So what's the difference? That's like me saying, oh, Canelo would easily beat Benavidez, so he don't have to fight him. So what if you feel he would have easily beat them? He should have still showed us that. Okay? Now, let me name you guys these fighters. It's no excuses. Floyd could have fought some slick, undefeated, at least prime black fighters. Number 1, Timothy Bradley. Okay? Why did Manny Pacquiao have to be the one to take Timothy Bradley's O? Why couldn't it be Floyd? Okay? That's one. Another one, Keith Thurman. That's another good one. What about Devin Alexander? That's another undefeated guy Floyd could have fought. They talked about fighting. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Devin now, but once upon a time, Devin was a champion, slick, prime, undefeated, when Floyd was fighting. Okay? So don't give me that bullshit, okay? What about Lara? You went up to 154 to fight, if I'm not mistaken, Oscar and Canelo and Miguel Cotto. Why you couldn't go up to 154 to fight Erislandy Lara? Another one, Paul Williams. Come on now. Fast hands. Throw a lot of punches. Power. Come on. Let's talk turkey, you guys. You need some more? Lamont Peterson. Okay? Now, Lamont Peterson, in case you haven't noticed or heard about it, he was giving Floyd that work and sparring. Now, I know sparring is sparring, but that's still another fight that Floyd could have had when Lamont Peterson was undefeated, or at least in his prime. Fuck all the super undefeated shit. At least be in your prime. I'm not talking about coming off a loss. I'm not talking about the blueprint is clearly out there on how to beat you. Come on now. Another undefeated guy at the time, once upon a time, that has slickness to him. Kendall Holt. Like I said, I know these fucking Mayweather D riders like a book. They're going to say, oh, those are easy fights for Mayweather. He didn't have to fight them. But those, like I said, those flat-footed fighters he fought was easy fights as well, and he fought them. Okay? So I'm just letting you guys know it was fighters at that time when Mayweather was fighting. And there's more. There's a lot more. Trust me. I just wanted to give you guys a few. But yeah, Kendall Holt. Don't sleep on Kendall Holt. Slickness, fast, powerful left hook. Kendall Holt was a bad boy at once upon a time, especially when he was in his prime. But that's nor here nor there, you guys. I'm just letting you guys know. Let's not act like Floyd couldn't have fought no prime black fighters. He didn't want to do it. Floyd chose to only fight in predictable style. Or if you did fight somebody that has some slickness to them, they were clearly past their prime, or the blueprint was there, coming off a loss, etc. Right now, I'm gonna say it for the last time. Floyd was a great fighter. Very talented. We all know that. My only gripe with Floyd, and Roy Jones is saying the same shit, he didn't want to test himself to see how great he really was. He chose his fights carefully. He picked the right time to fight certain fighters. We all know it. All the hardcore, unbiased boxing fans know it. Okay? It don't take rocket science. A blind man can see this shit. Okay? What Floyd did. And we all know with Floyd talent and shit like that, he didn't really want to take a risk against nobody that can truly test him. Just imagine if Floyd Mayweather fought a prime Aries Lenny Lara at 154 when Aries Lenny Lara was undefeated. Just imagine that type of fight for Floyd. Nope. He chose to face mostly the flat-footed fighter that was predictable. And that is a fact. That's my thoughts on this shit. I am out.